After 60, something terrifying begins to happen, and most people don't even realize it. Your body starts shutting down silently. Your muscles melt away, your bones weaken, your arteries stiffen like stone, and your brain, the very thing that makes you who you are, begins to shrink. Doctors often tell their older patients, "It's just age, nothing to worry about yet." But that word, yet, is the most dangerous word in medicine. Because yet is the time bomb ticking inside you. Yet is the warning that never shouts, never screams. It whispers until the day it suddenly explodes, with a stroke, a fracture, a collapse of memory. And here's the truth your doctor may not have told you. This isn't random. This isn't just old age. This is the result of daily choices. The foods you eat, the signals you send your body, the habits you repeat without thinking. Let me ask you, have you noticed your legs feeling weaker climbing stairs? Have you found yourself searching for words, forgetting names you once recalled with ease? Have you woken up exhausted, even after 8 hours of sleep? That's not normal aging. That is your body screaming for help in silence. The danger is that it doesn't hurt. Hardened arteries don't hurt until the stroke strikes. Bone loss doesn't hurt until the fracture leaves you unable to walk. Brain shrinkage doesn't hurt until you wake one morning and realize you no longer remember your daughter's voice. It is silent until it is permanent. I remember one of my patients, Michael. At 71, he still lived alone, still drove himself to the store, still enjoyed gardening. He felt healthy enough. But one morning, he slipped while carrying groceries up the steps. His hip shattered. The surgery was successful, but Michael never regained his independence. Within a year, he needed assistance to walk across a room. Within 2 years, his memory faltered. He asked me, "Doctor, can you fix me?" But by then, the damage was permanent. His decline was not destiny. It was the result of years of silent erosion, years of choices his body remembered. Your body remembers everything. Every bite you take, every habit you maintain, every moment you ignore. And it writes your future with unrelenting accuracy. This is why you must stay with me until the end of tonight's podcast. Because I will reveal 10 foods, simple, powerful, scientifically proven, that can slow this decline, protect your memory, and extend your independence. These are not optional. These are survival tools. Ignore them, and your body accelerates its descent. Embrace them, and you buy back time. But before I give you that list, you must understand what is happening inside your body after 50. Because once you see the truth, you will never look at food the same way again. At 25, your body was invincible. At 30, still strong. But after 50, everything begins to change. The process is slow, but merciless. Muscle begins to disappear at a rate of 1 to 2% each year, unless you fight to keep it. By 70, many adults have lost nearly a third of their muscle mass, a condition doctors call sarcopenia. Collagen, the protein scaffolding that keeps your joints, skin, and blood vessels resilient, dwindles. Without it, you become fragile. Your arteries lose elasticity, your skin thins, your joints ache. Even more dangerous, your cells lose their sensitivity to insulin. Foods you ate with ease in your 30s now send your blood sugar spiking in your 60s. You might not feel it, but your pancreas does. Your blood vessels do. This is the quiet road toward diabetes, heart disease, and relentless fatigue. And then there is the brain. By 60, most adults have already begun to lose measurable brain volume. Studies show the shrinkage is fastest in those deficient in key nutrients. Omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, vitamins from whole foods. This shrinkage is not just age, it is neglect, disguised as normality. I have sat with too many families watching this unfold. A woman in her early 70s, once a brilliant teacher, unable to finish sentences because the right words slipped away. A man who had been the patriarch of his family, suddenly unable to recognize his own grandchildren. And always, the same question from their loved ones. Could this have been prevented? And my answer is always the same. Much of it, yes. If only the right choices had been made earlier. That is why I am speaking to you now, not later, not when it is too late. Tonight, you are listening at the perfect time, because your body is still listening too. It still responds. Muscles can still grow. Arteries can still soften. Neurons can still strengthen their connections, but only if you act. Only if you understand that every bite is either medicine or poison. Science has given us the evidence. A long-term study showed that adults who ate fatty fish at least 3 times a week had brains that aged more slowly, retaining more volume and function. Another study revealed that women who consumed blueberries and strawberries regularly delayed cognitive decline by 2.5 years. Research on cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, kale, cabbage, found that they support liver detoxification and hormone balance, reducing cancer risk and easing menopausal transitions. These are not small details. These are survival differences, and the opposite is true as well. Seniors who consume processed foods, refined sugars, and cheap oils experience higher levels of chronic inflammation, what researchers call inflammaging. This hidden fire spreads through the body, damaging vessels, joints, and organs, and it leaves the brain vulnerable to accelerated decline. Here is the truth you must absorb. Decline is not inevitable. It is cumulative. Every unhealthy choice pushes you closer to collapse. Every healthy choice pushes you back towards strength. This is why I insist you stay until the end of tonight's episode. Because by the final moment, you will not only know the 10 foods you must eat after 50, you will understand why your survival depends on them. And if you ignore this knowledge, your body will not forgive you. It remembers. Always. So let us continue together. Because the worst danger of all is pretending nothing is wrong, when in reality, the countdown has already begun. You might think decline comes with a warning, but it doesn't. That's the most frightening part. When you were younger, your body shouted at you when something was wrong. You felt pain after overwork, dizziness after dehydration, shortness of breath when you pushed too hard. The signals were loud, impossible to ignore. But after 60, the alarms grow quiet. Silent damage becomes the rule. Your arteries harden silently. Your bones thin silently. Your brain shrinks silently. And then one day, the silence breaks in the form of catastrophe. A fracture, a stroke, a memory collapse. By then, the damage is already written. That's why denial is so dangerous. Seniors tell themselves, I don't feel sick. I must be fine. But silence does not mean safety. Silence means you are in the red zone. Silence means your body has stopped warning you and has started surrendering. I have watched this unfold countless times. A patient named Evelyn, age 74, still drove, still lived alone. She insisted she was healthy, but her diet was the same bread, the same cereal, the same pasta she had eaten for decades. No vegetables, no healthy fats, no fish. One morning she forgot where she parked her car. Then she began forgetting names. Within 2 years, she could not live alone. Evelyn's brain didn't collapse overnight. It collapsed silently, choice by choice, bite by bite, over decades. This is why food is not trivial. Food is not just taste or comfort. After 60, food is medicine or it is poison, and nothing in between. Think of your arteries like garden hoses. When you are young, they are soft, flexible, resilient. They can handle pressure. But as you age with the wrong foods, they harden. They become brittle. And just like an old hose cracks under pressure, hardened arteries crack under blood flow. That is when the heart attack comes, or the stroke. Think of your bones as scaffolding. In youth, they are strong, constantly rebuilt. But without the right nutrients, bone density plummets. A simple fall becomes a life sentence. 30% of seniors who suffer a hip fracture do not survive the following year. Of those who do survive, many never walk independently again. Imagine losing your ability to rise from a chair without help. That is the reality for millions, and it is not written by fate. It is written by food. Think of your brain as an electrical grid. In your 30s, the lines are bright and strong, every connection humming. But as the years pass, without the right building blocks, those lines fray. Signals slow down. Neurons weaken. You begin misplacing keys, then forgetting appointments, then losing entire memories. This is not just age. This is your brain starving for nutrients it never received. And here's the harsh truth. Most doctors will not tell you this. They will tell you your lab results are not too bad. They will reassure you that everyone your age feels this way. They will suggest a pill for your cholesterol, a pill for your blood pressure, a pill for your sleep. But pills do not rebuild muscle. Pills do not supply collagen. Pills do not restore neurons. Food does. That is why I urge you, do not wait for catastrophe. Do not wait for the day you fall or the day you forget your loved one's name. By then, the damage is permanent. The only time to act is now, while your body is still listening, still able to respond. And it will respond. That is the most hopeful truth I can give you. At 92 years old, I am living proof. My mind is still sharp. My body still rises each morning. I am not a genetic miracle. I am a man who made choices day after day that told my body to remain strong. Your body can do the same. Remember this. Decline is not inevitable. Decline is cumulative. Every wrong choice pushes you closer to collapse. Every right choice pulls you back towards strength. The science is clear. A study published in Neurology found that older adults with high levels of DHA, a component of omega-3 fats, had significantly less brain shrinkage than those with low levels. Another study in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society showed that seniors who consumed more high-quality protein maintained more muscle mass, strength, and independence compared to those who did not. And research from Harvard tracked adults for years and concluded that diets rich in fruits, vegetables, fish, and healthy fats cut the risk of cognitive decline nearly in half. Half. Think about that. Half the risk of losing your memory. Half the risk of living your final years in confusion. Half the risk of burdening your family with the slow erosion of who you are. That is what food can do. I know some of you listening tonight are skeptical. You may think, "Doctor, I've eaten this way my whole life. Why change now?" I will tell you why. because the slope is getting steeper. In your 30s, you could get away with poor choices. In your 50s, you began to feel the cost. After 60, every wrong choice hits harder, accelerates faster, and cuts deeper. What you could tolerate then, you cannot tolerate now. Another patient of mine, Robert, believed just that. That change was pointless. At 65, he laughed when I suggested altering his diet. "Too late for me, Doc," he said. By 70, he was diabetic. By 72, he suffered his first stroke. By 75, he needed full-time care. Change would not have been pointless. It would have been life-saving. But he never gave himself the chance. Your body remembers. It remembers decades of choices, yes, but it also remembers today's choice. And if you begin now, your body will listen. Muscles will respond. Bones will strengthen. Neurons will adapt. You are not powerless. You are only powerless if you do nothing. Tonight, before you sleep, I want you to picture two possible futures. In one, you ignore this message. You keep eating the way you always have. You let silence lull you into comfort. Years pass, you grow weaker, you suffer a fall. You lose your independence. Your memory fades. Your family watches you slip away. That is one future. In the other, you decide tonight that decline is not inevitable. You choose foods that rebuild rather than destroy. You protect your muscles, your bones, your brain. You age slower. You walk freely in your 70s, your 80s, even your 90s. You recognize your grandchildren's faces. You live, not just exist. That is the second future, and the choice is yours. This is why you must stay until the end of tonight's episode, because I will reveal the 10 foods that build the second future. The 10 foods that science has proven again and again to protect aging bodies from collapse. The 10 foods that decide whether you age with strength or with suffering. Do not leave. Do not drift. Because the knowledge you need is still ahead, and it may be the knowledge that saves you. You may be wondering, if food is so powerful, why don't more people know this? Why don't doctors emphasize it? The answer is painful. Medicine is designed to treat disease, not prevent it. Doctors are trained to manage crises, to stabilize heart attacks, to repair fractures, to prescribe medications. But they are rarely trained to teach you how to avoid those crises in the first place. Prevention is quiet. Prevention takes time. Prevention does not earn headlines. And so, millions drift into decline that could have been slowed, even reversed, if only someone had warned them sooner. That is what I am doing now. I am warning you, because you still have time. Let me be clear. After 50, decline is not destiny, but it is momentum. Every unhealthy meal adds weight to the downhill slope. Every healthy meal pushes back against it. The question is not whether you are aging. The question is whether you are accelerating the fall or slowing it. Science calls this process inflammaging, the chronic low-grade inflammation that spreads through your body as you grow older. It is the hidden fire behind heart disease, arthritis, Alzheimer's, even some cancers. And the accelerants of this fire are everywhere. Refined sugar, fried foods, processed meats, cheap oils. Eat them, and you feed the flames. Remove them, and you starve the fire. Replace them with nutrient-dense foods, and you rebuild the defenses that time has weakened. I have seen it with my own patients, those who adopted anti-inflammatory foods, fatty fish, leafy greens, nuts, berries, aged differently. They did not escape time, but they slowed it. They walked longer. They remembered more. They smiled into their later years with strength still in their steps. And this is not just observation. A landmark study in the New England Journal of Medicine found that the Mediterranean diet, rich in olive oil, fish, vegetables, and nuts, reduced the risk of major cardiovascular events in older adults by 30%. 30% fewer heart attacks, 30% fewer strokes, 30% fewer deaths from food, not from pills, not from surgery, from food. Think about that the next time you pick up a fork. Another long-term study followed over 3,000 seniors for more than a decade. Those who ate the most fruits and vegetables had slower rates of cognitive decline than those who ate the least. The difference was measurable, undeniable. Brains literally aged slower, not because of luck or genes, but because of nutrients. Yet despite all this evidence, most seniors continue to eat the way they always have. Breakfast is cereal or toast. Lunch is a sandwich. Dinner is pasta or meat with little color on the plate. The body cannot thrive on beige food. The body thrives on color, on variety, on nutrients that feed its systems. You must understand this. The body is not forgiving after 60. Every missed nutrient, every excess of poison, writes itself into your tissues. The brain fog you feel after a heavy meal is not random. The stiffness in your knees after processed food is not coincidence. The fatigue that drags you down is not just age. It is your body reacting, remembering, warning you in whispers. So I ask you again, which future will you choose? The silent collapse or the sustained strength? Let me share one final story. A patient named Clara came to me at 68. She was overweight, tired, forgetful. She feared the decline she had seen in her parents. But unlike many, she was willing to change. We adjusted her diet. Out went the processed sugars and fried foods. In came salmon, blueberries, walnuts, spinach, green tea. Within 6 months, her energy returned. Within a year, her memory improved. At 72, she was walking 3 miles a day. At 75, she told me, "Doctor, I feel younger now than I did at 65." Clara did not escape aging. She redefined it. She slowed it. She bent the curve. This is the possibility I want you to hold tonight. You cannot stop time, but you can slow its damage. You can choose strength over weakness, clarity over confusion, independence over dependence, and food is the lever. That is why tonight's episode is so critical. Because in a moment, I will reveal the 10 foods you must eat after 50. 10 foods backed by science, tested by time, proven to protect. One of these foods may be the difference between walking in your 80s or collapsing in your 70s. Another may be the difference between remembering your grandchildren's names or staring at their faces in confusion. Each one is a key to a different door. A door that either opens to strength or to suffering. But I must warn you, these foods will not help if you ignore the truth. They are not magic bullets. They are tools, and tools must be used consistently. Your body does not forgive inconsistency. It remembers. It remembers every day you choose poison over medicine, every meal you eat without thought, every nutrient you deny it. The body is a ledger, and nothing is erased. So tonight, as you listen, understand this. You are not too late. You are not too old. You are not beyond saving, but you must decide. You must act. Because decline is not inevitable. Decline is cumulative, and the only way to slow it is to make different choices now. Stay with me. Do not turn away. Because the list you are about to hear could change the way you age, could extend your independence, could protect your memory, could save your very identity. This is not entertainment. This is survival. And when I reveal the 10 foods, you will finally understand what your body has been begging for all along. You will see that your future does not have to be written in suffering. You will see that aging can be lived, not endured. But you must stay until the end. Because one of these foods, one in particular, is the most powerful of all. And it may be the very thing that decides whether your 70s are years of freedom or years of decline. Whether your 80s are lived with strength or lost to frailty. Whether your 90s are marked by clarity or by confusion. The choice is coming, and it begins with what you put on your plate. So keep listening, because your body remembers, and it is listening too. You've just heard the warning. Decline after 50 is silent. But silence does not mean safety. It means danger creeping in with every bite. If you want to fight back, the weapons are not miracle pills or untested supplements, but real food, proven by science and tested by time. These foods are the difference between a mind that fades and a mind that stays sharp, between bones that shatter and bones that carry you forward, between life lived and life lost. And from the very beginning, I will tell you this. The 10th food may be the most important of them all. If you walk away early, you may never know the key that decides whether your 80s are lived in clarity or confusion. So stay. Your body remembers every choice you make, even the choice to keep listening tonight. Your brain is 60% fat, and without omega-3 DHA, neurons weaken, connections slow, and memory begins to fray. The body cannot make DHA on its own. It must come from food, and fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are the only true supply. A study in neurology proved it. Seniors with the highest DHA had less brain shrinkage. Another found that eating fatty fish twice a week cut Alzheimer's risk by nearly 40%. That is not hope. That is math. But here's the danger. Silence means you won't notice until it is too late. Your brain will not scream. It will simply erase, and when you finally feel the loss, no supplement can bring back what is gone. So remember, your body is listening right now. Feed it poison, it collapses. Feed it fish, it holds the line. And if just one fish can protect your brain, wait until you hear about the fruit that can literally add years of memory. They look harmless, sweet, and small, but blueberries carry anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that break through the blood-brain barrier. They march into your neurons and defend them from within. Harvard researchers followed thousands of women for decades. Those who ate blueberries and strawberries regularly delayed memory decline by more than 2 years. 2 extra years of remembering your loved ones' names. 2 extra years of independence. 2 extra years of yourself. Yet most seniors trade berries for cookies, for cakes, for sugar. And sugar fuels decline while blueberries fight it. The body remembers which side you choose. If a handful of berries can buy you 2 more years, what could a plate of greens buy you? 11 years of youth in your brain? Science says yes, and that's what comes next. Greens are not decoration, they are defense. Vitamin K to strengthen bones and guide calcium. Magnesium to calm nerves, ease muscles, and help you sleep. Folate to protect your very DNA. In a study published in Neurology, seniors who ate just 1 serving of leafy greens daily had brains that functioned as if they were 11 years younger. 11 years stolen back from decline. But chewing gets harder, appetite shrinks, And so seniors eat fewer greens exactly when they need them most. Silence becomes surrender. A salad today or confusion tomorrow? That is the choice. And if one plate of greens buys you a decade of clarity, what could a handful of nuts do for your memory grid? Walnuts look like little brains, and it is no coincidence. They contain omega-3 ALA, antioxidants, polyphenols. In the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease, seniors who ate walnuts regularly scored higher on memory tests. Think of your brain as a garden, free radicals as weeds choking the pathways. Walnuts are the gardener, pulling them out, letting the flowers bloom again. But here's the trap. People fear the calories. They cut nuts, and in doing so, cut one of the brain's defenders. Calories don't steal your memory. Decline does. Feed the garden, just a handful a day. If nuts can clear the weeds, what could a single oil do to soften your arteries, protect your heart, and keep blood flowing to the brain itself? Your arteries are the highways to your brain and heart, and they must stay soft, flexible, alive. Extra virgin olive oil is their shield. Monounsaturated fats and antioxidants keep the walls young. In the massive pre-dimed study, seniors using olive oil daily cut their risk of heart attack, stroke, and death by 30%. 30% fewer sudden endings. But beware, not all oils are equal. Cheap vegetable oils inflame, stiffen, and poison. They make the silence louder. Olive oil calms the fire. If you are still using soybean or corn oil, you are feeding the fire of your decline. Switch to olive oil and you add years of flow, years of life. We have just covered 5 defenders: fish, berries, greens, nuts, and oil. Each one could slow decline on its own, but together they form a wall against collapse. Yet the most terrifying gaps, the ones that decide if your muscles waste away, if your bones shatter, if your memory disintegrates, are still ahead. And food number 10 may be the most powerful of them all, the one thing standing between you and the silent fall no one warns you about. So stay. Your body remembers every choice you make. The next choice is whether to keep listening and discover the foods that could save your independence, or to walk away and let silence win. You've seen the first 5 defenders. But here's the truth most seniors don't hear. Stopping halfway is surrender. They think a little fish, a few berries, and the war is won. It isn't. The fire of aging burns on, and if you don't put out every flame, it will find a way to consume you. The next 5 foods are not optional. They are survival. And if you walk away now, you may never hear the single food that could mean the difference between walking in your 80s or lying in a bed. Beans and lentils are often forgotten, pushed aside as peasant food, but they are quiet builders of strength. Protein wrapped in fiber, minerals, and compounds that regulate blood sugar. After 50, blood sugar spikes become sharper, more dangerous. They erode arteries, weaken nerves, fuel inflammation. Beans calm the storm. Harvard followed more than 16,000 seniors and found those who ate legumes at least 4 times a week had a 22% lower risk of heart disease. Another study linked beans to longer lifespan because stable blood sugar means stable energy, stable mood, stable health. Yet most older adults avoid them, claiming they cause bloating or discomfort. And while they avoid, their bodies starve for fiber, starve for slow-burning fuel. The body remembers. Remove beans, and decline accelerates. And if something as humble as beans can guard your arteries, imagine what fermented food could do to rebuild the command center of your immunity. Your gut is not just about digestion. It is immunity, mood, even memory itself. Trillions of bacteria live inside you, forming what scientists call the microbiome. After 50, diversity shrinks. Good bacteria die, bad bacteria rise, and the result is weakness. Infections, inflammation, depression, even dementia. Fermented foods, real yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, feed the good and restore balance. A study in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found probiotic-rich diets improved memory and reduced risk of dementia. Another study showed that seniors who consumed fermented milk daily had stronger immune defenses against infections. But here lies the danger. Supermarket shelves are filled with fake yogurt, sweetened and stripped of cultures. It is dessert, not medicine. Real fermented food is alive. If it's dead, it cannot save you. If bacteria in your gut can dictate memory in your brain, then imagine what tiny seeds of life can do to protect every heartbeat you have left. Seeds are tiny, often ignored, yet they carry the concentrated life of a plant. Fiber to sweep your arteries clean. Magnesium to calm blood pressure. Zinc to fuel immunity. Lignans to shield against cancers. 1 tablespoon of flaxseed daily has been shown to lower blood pressure. Chia stabilizes blood sugar. Pumpkin seeds protect the prostate. Sunflower seeds guard your cells with vitamin E. But here's the frightening fact. Deficiency in magnesium alone doubles the risk of sudden cardiac death. Doubles. And most seniors consume far less than they need. Seeds are the answer, yet seeds are ignored. If a spoonful of seeds can steady your heartbeat, what could an egg, the ancient food of bone, muscle, and mind, do for you now? For decades, eggs were demonized, blamed for cholesterol. But science has revealed the truth. Eggs are one of the most complete, affordable sources of protein and micronutrients. They carry choline, the compound your brain uses to make acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter of memory. Without it, connections falter. A Finnish study showed men who ate eggs regularly had a lower risk of dementia. The protein preserves muscle, the yolk's carotenoids guard your vision, the fats nourish your hormones. Yet many seniors throw away the yolk, believing it dangerous. In reality, the yolk is the gold. Throw it away, and you throw away your brain's fuel. If an egg can preserve your memory and muscle, what then of the final food? The one hidden in plain sight. The one that could decide how much of yourself you keep. Yes, chocolate. But not the kind sold in shiny wrappers filled with sugar. Real dark chocolate, 70% cocoa or higher, is medicine disguised as pleasure. It is loaded with flavanols that expand blood vessels, improve blood flow, and feed your brain oxygen. In a 2012 study, seniors who consumed high flavanol cocoa daily for 3 months improved blood flow to the brain and performed better on memory tests. Improved circulation means oxygen, and oxygen means life. But most chocolate is poison. Sugar, milk, processing. Only the dark kind carries the cure. Choose wrong, and you feed decline. Choose right, and you defend your mind. Your body remembers every choice, every seed, every berry, every bite of chocolate. It writes them silently into your arteries, your neurons, your muscles. The ledger is filling even now. 10 foods that fight back. 10 chances to push decline away. But we are not finished. Because the real question is not just what you eat. It is how often, when, and why. Eat the right food at the wrong time, and your body ignores it. Eat without rhythm, and the vagus nerve, your hidden conductor, loses its signal. That is why you cannot leave now. Because in the next part, you will learn how to weave these foods into your daily rhythm, how to time them so your body actually listens, how to avoid the silent mistakes that erase their power. If you thought the foods were strong, wait until you discover the patterns, miss them, and you lose the years you thought you gained. Stay with me. Decline is not inevitable unless you walk away now. You've heard the 10 foods, but here's the truth no one tells you. Food alone is not enough. You can eat salmon, blueberries, walnuts, and dark chocolate and still lose the war. Because the body does not just care about what you eat, it cares about when. Timing is not a detail. It is the code that unlocks whether your body uses food as fuel or stores it as poison. Your body runs on rhythm, not just sleep and wake, but feeding and fasting, digestion and repair. Scientists call it the circadian rhythm. Ignore it, and you scramble your internal clock. After 60, the rhythm is already fragile. The body forgets when to rest, when to release hormones, when to heal. And every late-night snack, every skipped meal, every chaotic pattern accelerates decline. Here is the danger. Most seniors eat their heaviest meal late at night. They think dinner is the time to enjoy, but the body cannot handle it. Insulin response is weaker in the evening, digestion is slower, blood sugar spikes higher. You sleep with a stomach working overtime, and instead of restoring the brain, the night is spent battling chaos. That is why sleep feels heavy, why mornings feel foggy. It's not age, it's rhythm. And here is the weapon. Shift your main meals earlier. A breakfast rich in protein, eggs, and greens steadies the brain. A midday meal with beans, fish, and olive oil fuels the body while the sun is high. A light evening plate, vegetables, a handful of nuts, maybe a spoon of yogurt, allows the body to rest, not struggle. Studies show that seniors who follow time-restricted feeding, eating within an 8 to 10 hour window, improve insulin sensitivity, reduce inflammation, and even enhance memory scores. But the timing is only half the code. The other half lies in a hidden nerve, one most people have never heard of. Yet it decides how your body processes every bite. The vagus nerve. It runs from brainstem to gut, the superhighway of signals. When it is strong, digestion is smooth, heartbeat steady, inflammation low. When it weakens, the body forgets how to regulate itself. Food sits heavy, heart races, memory fades. And here's the chilling truth. After 60, the vagus nerve often goes silent, yet it can be trained. Slow breathing before meals, chewing deliberately, eating in calm, not haste, all send signals through the vagus nerve. Even humming or gentle singing stimulates it. This nerve is not mystical, it is measurable. Studies have shown vagus nerve stimulation lowers inflammation and improves mood, even delays cognitive decline. Your body remembers not just what you eat, but how you eat, how you breathe, how you live each bite. And so here's the hook. Food without rhythm is wasted. A blueberry at midnight cannot save your brain. Salmon swallowed in stress cannot rebuild neurons. Walnuts eaten with shallow breaths cannot quiet the fire. The vagus nerve listens, and if you fail to send the right signals, the foods you treasure turn mute. Think of this. What if decline was not inevitable, but simply a forgotten rhythm? What if a plate of greens at noon, a handful of nuts at dusk, and a quiet breath before swallowing could buy you not just years, but clarity? The science is clear, but the choice is not in a lab. It is in your daily rhythm. And yet, there is one more layer. Because even with the right foods, even with perfect timing, Even with a strong vagus nerve, the silent killers of aging are still at work. Inflammation, toxins, hidden habits that poison your body while you sleep. They wait in the background, unseen, ready to undo all you build. And unless you confront them, all your effort may still collapse. That is what we uncover next. The patterns that sabotage your nights, the dangers in your daily rituals that you never question, and the ways to stop them before they strip away the years you are trying to save. Stay with me, because your body remembers, and tonight it is asking you to listen. You may think the danger ends when you close your eyes at night. You eat better, you time your meals, you breathe deeply, and then you believe sleep will repair everything. But here is the truth most doctors will never say out loud. The night can be just as dangerous as the day. Because the habits you carry into the darkness, the positions you sleep in, the air you breathe, the devices you keep glowing beside your bed, these can be silent killers. The first habit is eating too close to bedtime. It feels harmless, a late snack, a sweet bite, a warm drink. But the body cannot lie. When you sleep on a full stomach, digestion steals the energy that should repair your brain. Instead of cleaning out toxins, your brain is busy surviving the flood of glucose. Studies show late-night eating raises the risk of diabetes, heart disease, even cognitive decline. Your body remembers every midnight snack, every bite in the dark. And when it remembers enough, it answers with disease. The second habit is screen light before bed. Phones, televisions, tablets, they do not just distract, they wound. Blue light burns into your retina, confuses your circadian rhythm, tells your brain it is still daytime. And when your brain believes it is day, it withholds melatonin, the hormone that signals rest and repair. A Harvard study proved it. Blue light before bed suppresses melatonin and delays deep sleep by hours. Hours stolen from the healing your brain desperately needs. You wake up heavy, foggy, older. Decline accelerates silently. The third habit is posture, the way you sleep. It sounds trivial, but it is life and death. Sleep flat on your back with your airway collapsed, and oxygen falls. The body suffocates in silence. This is sleep apnea, often undiagnosed, often ignored. 1 in 4 seniors has it, and most never know. Oxygen deprivation destroys neurons, raises blood pressure, weakens the heart. One night may seem harmless, but multiplied by years, it erodes your brain until memory is lost. And if it happens at 2 a.m., alone in bed, there is no warning, no time to call for help. Just silence. The fourth habit is ignoring your environment. A closed room, stale air, dust, hidden mold. They poison your lungs while you sleep. Studies in environmental medicine show that poor air quality at night raises inflammation markers, increases risk of respiratory disease, and even accelerates cognitive decline. Yet many seniors shut their windows tight, surround themselves with carpets, curtains, clutter that hold allergens and dust. They believe the night is safe. It isn't. The fifth habit is medication misuse. Pills taken too late, too close together, without water, without thought. Sleep aids, blood pressure drugs, painkillers. They interact in silence. A late pill can drop blood pressure too low while you sleep. A sedative can relax the airway until it collapses. And in the morning, if you wake at all, you wonder why you feel weaker, why your memory has slipped further. The truth is, your body remembers every mistake in the dark. These habits may sound small, but together they form a web. A snack here, a phone there, a posture ignored. a pill misplaced. Each one cuts a thread of resilience. Each one steals hours of repair. And when the body cannot repair, decline is not gradual. It is sudden. A fall, a stroke, a night you never wake from. That is why you must see the night as battlefield, not sanctuary. But here is the hook. Habits can be reversed. Every danger has its opposite, every poison its antidote. If you remove these night killers and replace them with healing rituals, you not only stop decline, you open the door to regeneration. The body remembers destruction, yes, but it also remembers renewal. Which side of memory will you choose? And that is what comes next. We will talk about the rituals that restore your nights. Breathing, posture, light, sound. The quiet weapons that strengthen your vagus nerve, steady your heart, and clear your brain. Stay with me, because the next part is not just about avoiding danger. It is about building resilience. And if you miss it, you may never know the habits that could keep you alive long after others have given up. You've seen how the night can betray you, how small habits, repeated in silence, can accelerate decline. But the night can also be your greatest healer. If you remove the poisons and replace them with rituals of strength, every hour of sleep becomes a medicine. And the truth is this: after 60, healing is not optional. It is survival. Your body remembers destruction, but it also remembers repair. What you do in the last hours before sleep can decide whether tomorrow is another day of independence or the first day of decline. The first ritual is light. Darkness is not just absence of sun, it is a signal. When the sun falls, your brain should release melatonin, telling every cell to rest, to clean, to renew. But artificial light, lamps, screens, LEDs, confuses the signal. The ritual is simple. 1 hour before bed, dim the lights, switch to warm glow, turn off screens. Studies show seniors who avoid blue light in the evening fall asleep faster and reach deeper sleep. The kind that clears the brain of toxins linked to Alzheimer's. If you create darkness, your brain remembers what to do. If you don't, it forgets. And forgetting is the beginning of the end. The second ritual is breath. Not the shallow, anxious breath of worry, but slow, deliberate inhalations through the nose, exhalations through the mouth. This is how you train the vagus nerve, the hidden conductor of your body's orchestra. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Just 5 minutes calms the heartbeat, lowers blood pressure, reduces inflammation. Clinical trials show vagus stimulation delays cognitive decline and eases depression in older adults. Imagine 5 minutes of breath as powerful as a pill without the side effects. The body remembers calm. If you breathe with rhythm, your body will heal with rhythm. The third ritual is posture. Sleeping flat on your back with your airway collapsed invites danger. Sleeping on your stomach strains your spine and suffocates your lungs. The safest, strongest position for most seniors is side sleeping, especially the left side. It supports circulation, prevents reflux, keeps the airway open. Doctors studying sleep apnea have found side sleepers reduce dangerous oxygen drops by more than 50%. 50% fewer silent suffocations each night. You may think posture is small, but posture is survival. The fourth ritual is sound. Silence can be heavy, filled with the hum of fear, the creak of the house, the pounding of your own heart. Gentle sound, waves, rain, slow instrumental music, has been shown to deepen slow-wave sleep, the phase when memory consolidates. In one study, Seniors exposed to gentle rhythmic sound during sleep improved memory test scores the next day. Not noise, not distraction, but rhythm, again, guiding the brain into healing. The fifth ritual is gratitude. It may sound soft, almost too simple, but science says otherwise. Writing down 3 things you are grateful for before bed lowers cortisol, the stress hormone. Lower cortisol means lower inflammation, steadier sleep, calmer mind. In trials, older adults who practiced nightly gratitude fell asleep faster and stayed asleep longer. Your body remembers what you focus on. Focus on fear, and it feeds decline. Focus on gratitude, and it feeds resilience. And here is the most important ritual: consistency. A single night will not change you, but night after night, the body learns, remembers, adapts. The rhythm becomes strong again. The vagus nerve fires. The brain cleans itself. The heart rests. Consistency is not glamorous, but it is the secret of survival. One ritual skipped, one night lost, and the body remembers that too. So tonight, when you finish listening, do not just nod and forget. Turn off the light. Breathe. Lie on your side. Play a soft sound. Write 1 line of gratitude. These are not luxuries. They are weapons. And if you use them, the night will no longer betray you. It will defend you. But there is one more truth you must hear before we close. Even with food, even with rhythm, even with healing rituals, the future is not promised. Because there is a larger enemy, time itself. And how you confront it, how you choose to live each day after 60, will decide whether you walk into your 80s with strength or crawl with regret. That is what we face in the final part. And if you turn away now, you may never hear the one message that ties it all together, the one decision that could keep you alive when others fall. Stay with me. The body remembers, and the end is not here yet. You have walked with me through the dangers and the defenses. You now know the 10 foods that can fight decline. You've seen how rhythm, the timing of your meals, the strength of your vagus nerve, is not optional, but essential. You've uncovered the hidden dangers of the night, the habits that quietly steal your life. And you've learned the rituals that transform sleep into healing, breath into medicine, gratitude into resilience. But let me leave you with this truth. Nothing I shared matters if you forget it tomorrow. Knowledge without action is another silent killer. Your body remembers every choice, every bite, every breath, every night. It remembers what you do, not what you intended to do. And if you let silence win, the decline will not wait. It will take piece by piece until there is nothing left to take. Yet decline is not destiny. You have seen the proof. Decades of science, real people who live sharper, longer, stronger by choosing differently. The body is old, yes, but it is not finished. Bones rebuild, neurons rewire, muscles awaken, hearts rest and grow steady again. Your body is waiting for your signal. Feed it wisely. Breathe with rhythm. Sleep with care. Live with consistency. And the years ahead can still be years of clarity, of independence, of life. Do not walk away thinking you will remember this later. Act tonight. Remove the poisons from your plate. Turn off the blue light. Breathe deeply. Lie down on your side. Whisper gratitude into the dark. Small acts, repeated, are stronger than the biggest promises, because your body remembers patterns. Give it the right ones. And here is my final warning. The greatest danger after 60 is not osteoporosis, not diabetes, not even dementia. It is giving up. Believing the story that decline is inevitable. believing the lie that nothing you do matters. That is the poison greater than any sugar or cigarette. And if you believe it, you hand away your life before death even comes. So I ask you, as a physician who has lived through 9 decades, who still works, still studies, still believes, do not give up. Do not accept decline. Do not hand away years you could still live well. If tonight has opened your eyes, then stay with us. Subscribe, follow, listen. Because this is not the end. Every week I will bring you another truth, another warning, another weapon to fight for your health after 60. You will not hear this in a 5-minute checkup, but you will hear it here, in the quiet of the night, where it matters most. Stay. Listen. Act. Because your body remembers. And so will you.